Before we begin our prayer, I want to gently invite you into a quiet moment of reflection. Think about how your mornings usually begin. For so many of us, the day starts fast: an alarm, a glance at the phone, a rush of thoughts about work, responsibilities, worries, and expectations. Before our feet even touch the floor, our minds are already running, and without realizing it, the direction of our entire day is being set. That's why morning prayer matters so much. Not because God needs it, but because we do. The first moments of the day are powerful. Whatever we give our attention to first often becomes what shapes our emotions, our reactions, and our peace for the rest of the day. When we begin the morning with anxiety, we tend to carry anxiety. When we begin with pressure, we live under pressure. But when we begin the day by turning our hearts toward God, something different happens. Our souls are anchored, our minds are steadied. We're reminded that we are not walking into this day alone. Jesus understood this deeply. That's why, while it was still dark and the world was still quiet, he chose to step away and be alone with the Father. Not out of religious duty, but out of wisdom. He knew that before the voices of people, before the demands of ministry, before the weight of the day, his heart needed alignment. And in many ways, our lives today are even louder than they were back then. Notifications, deadlines, news, expectations, everything is competing for your attention. So when you choose to start your morning with prayer, you're making a powerful decision. You're saying, God, before anything else speaks into my life today, I want to hear from you. You're not just asking God to bless your plans, you're inviting Him to lead them. Morning prayer doesn't make the day perfect, but it gives the day direction. It shifts your focus from fear to faith, from pressure to peace. And as we begin this time together, my prayer is that you wouldn't feel rushed, guilty, or overwhelmed, but encouraged. Because this moment, right now, this quiet pause, is already a step toward a stronger, steadier, God-centered day. As the day unfolds, many of us wonder why we feel so drained, so reactive, or so easily overwhelmed even on days that haven't fully started yet. Often, it's not because we're doing something wrong, but because we're trying to do everything on our own. When we skip that quiet time alone with God in the morning, we step into the day, carrying yesterday's weight, yesterday's worries, and yesterday's unresolved emotions. Without realizing it, we begin reacting instead of responding. Small things feel bigger than they should. Conversations feel heavier. Our patience runs thin. It's not that our faith has failed, it's that our souls haven't been replenished. Life has a way of pulling from us constantly, and if we don't pause to be filled, we slowly begin to run on empty. When private prayer is missing, our perspective shifts. We start seeing people and situations only through our emotions, instead of through grace. We rely on our own strength instead of God's wisdom, and that's exhausting. But when we take even a few quiet moments to meet with God before the day begins, something inside us changes. Our hearts soften, our minds slow down. We're reminded that we don't have to carry everything alone. Private prayer isn't about saying the right words, it's about allowing God to realign us from the inside out. It gives us spiritual clarity, emotional stability, and a sense of peace that doesn't depend on how the day goes. And that's why so many people feel worn out, discouraged, or disconnected, not because God is distant, but because they've been trying to face life without that daily connection. This morning, I want you to know that feeling tired doesn't mean you're weak. It means you need rest in His presence. And even now, as you're listening, God is gently inviting you to lay the weight down and let Him strengthen you for what's ahead. So the question becomes, how do we actually begin each morning with God, especially when life is busy? When we're tired, when the alarm goes off too early and the day feels heavy before it even starts. And the truth is, morning prayer doesn't have to be perfect to be powerful. God isn't asking for long, eloquent words. He's simply inviting your heart. Even a few quiet minutes can change the tone of your entire day. You don't need an hour. You don't need the right mood. You just need a willing spirit. Maybe you start by taking a deep breath and saying, "Lord, thank you for this new day." Maybe you offer him what's ahead, your work, your family, your responsibilities, and ask him to guide your steps. Maybe you sit in silence for a moment and let your heart settle in his presence. What matters is consistency, not complexity. And if mornings are hard for you, if you're juggling kids, early shifts, or constant demands, give yourself grace. God honors the effort to show up, even when it feels small. Over time, discipline becomes desire. That quiet habit turns into something you look forward to, because you begin to notice the difference it makes. You start your day less rushed, less anxious, more grounded. You carry peace instead of pressure. And that's why beginning the morning with God is such a gift. It's not another task on your list. It's a moment of connection that strengthens you from the inside out. As we transition now, let this be your invitation to pause, to open your heart, and to step into prayer knowing that God is already near, ready to meet you right where you are.